guys, it's Megan. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this DIY fidget spinner using Perler Beads. And this thing is so cool. I love it so much. And I've never seen anybody make a fidget spinner from Perler Beads. So hopefully this is a new idea for you guys. But before we get started, I just wanted to say that if you guys aren't already and you'd like to be, make sure to subscribe for more videos just like this one, and also hit the bell if you want to be notified each time I upload a new video, because I have a lot of exciting projects coming up and you definitely don't want to miss it. And as always, you can follow me on Instagram, Musical.ly, and Tumblr. They're all Weller Megs. So without further ado, let's just get into the video. So the first thing you'll want to do is make a mold, and I'm using this amazing mold putty, and I got this at Michael's and it's pretty cheap with a 40% off coupon. And so I just made a mold of this clay fidget spinner that I made in my last DIY fidget spinner video, which I will link down below, but you could also use a real fidget spinner to make a mold of. And once you have your mold, it's time to add your perler beads, and it would be much easier if you had the mini perler beads because you wouldn't have to cut them in half, but I just ended up cutting all of my perler beads into a couple pieces, between 4 and 6 pieces, and this does take a little while, but it's definitely worth it in the end. And you'll just want to keep cutting up the perler beads and adding them in until you fill up the whole entire mold. And definitely put in extra than you think that you'll need, just because these do melt down like kind of smaller than when you put them in, if that makes sense. So definitely just put in a ton of them. And once I filled up the whole mold with perler beads, I went ahead and I put it in the oven at 280 degrees, and you're going to want to keep it in there for about 10 to 15 minutes and then check on it to make sure that the beads haven't melted down too much. And if they have, you can just take it out and add more beads. And if you notice that you didn't add enough perler beads, you can just go back, and I would suggest pushing down the melted beads with something like a pencil and making sure that they're all pushed down in there, and then adding some more perler beads on top of that before putting it in the oven for another 45 minutes. And so this is what it should look like when you're done, and I think that this looks so cool, but as you can see, I kind of burnt the back, so don't do that, but otherwise I think that it looks so cool. And so then I made the weights that go into each of the 3 outer circles, and you could just use bearings for this, and I did that in my last video, but I found that that was kind of a waste of bearings because they don't really do anything. So instead I decided to make some out of polymer clay. So I just took some clay and I flattened it into a circle, and then I pressed it into one of the circles that are on the outside, and then I just attached 2 pennies on top of the clay, and I attached them using some TLS. And you don't have to do this if you don't have TLS, it really doesn't make that much of a difference. But then I just took that out of the fidget spinner, and I took some more purple clay and I just flattened that on top of the little penny thing that I just made, and then I used the fidget spinner as kind of like a cookie cutter almost, just to make sure that the shape was right, and I cut off any excess with an X-Acto knife and smoothed out the edges. And then I just took that and I put it back into the fidget spinner one more time just to make sure that there wasn't any excess clay sticking out of the back. And if there was, I just cut it off with an X-Acto knife. And then you'll want to remove the clay weights from the fidget spinner and bake them according to your package directions. And once they're finished, you can just pop those back into the fidget spinner and attach them with some super glue. And in case you guys were wondering, yes, the pennies are safe to bake in the oven. A conventional oven will not reach a temperature high enough to melt pennies, so they won't melt, they'll just kind of like keep their shape and make your fidget spinner really awesome. And when I was attaching the weights with the super glue, I made the mistake of trying to wipe off any excess super glue, which made it look like this. But as you can see, the one that looks nice was the one that I didn't try to wipe off the super glue. So to cover that up, I just went ahead and I used some sparkly purple paint, and I just painted over each of the purple circles. And once that dries, you're basically done. And if you want, you can cover it with a layer of glaze, but I decided not to do that just for the sake of time, but I'll probably end up doing it after I'm done uploading this video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and if you're not already and you'd like to be, make sure to subscribe for more videos just like this one. And as always, if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and make sure to follow me on Instagram, Musical.ly, and Tumblr. They're all Weller Megs. And yeah, I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!